Happy Friday. I see some people are starting to jump on. We'll just wait about 30 to 60 seconds. If you would take a moment to share, I would appreciate it very much. That way, we're inviting others to join in the creative project ideas today, or the creative process today. Hi there, Melinda. While we're waiting for others to jump on, let me tell you about a couple things on my blog. First of all, it's not too early to be making your Christmas cards. Sometimes I'm like waiting till, late, and it's just so stressful and I don't enjoy the process as much. So I'm trying to work on cards earlier this year and getting a head start. And I wanted to share this with you. This is a card I made for a demonstrator swap I was in on Sunday. If you go to my blog today, stampinpiece.com, www.stampinpiece.com, you can find a free project sheet. You just download it. You can print it if you want or save it to your computer, but it tells you everything you need to make this card, the dimensions for cutting, and the instructions. If you missed Wednesday night's Facebook Live, I highly suggest you go back and watch that video. It's here on my Facebook page, Stampin' Piece with Mary Nabe. Just look under videos or look under September 15th for my last Facebook Live. I will also be posting this to my blog this weekend. And what we did on Wednesday was I showed you all the different things that you can do with the hybrid embossing folders. So I used the Merriest Moments bundle, which includes the Merriest Frames embossing folder and coordinating dies. And we made these cards together. There's one. And as we made each of these three, I took the next step of using the hybrid embossing folder with the dies. So now you can see all three different things you can do with that hybrid embossing folder. And what makes it hybrid is that in the coordinating die set, there is one die that has been designed to actually fit into the embossing folder. And when you're using that, you can emboss and die cut at the same time. And that's the example of this white piece. And then there's an additional die that you don't put in the embossing folder, but once you've done that previous step, you can run it through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine again with the more detailed die and get this. So it's a lot of fun using that hybrid embossing folder and the dies either by themselves or in combination. So you get a lot of different looks to your cards and paper crafts. So take a look at that or wait till it's posted on my blog this weekend. Again, stampinpiece.com. Today I'm going to be showing you some quick and easy treat favors or party favors. I'm doing these with a Halloween theme. However, you can do them for birthday parties, baby showers, bridal showers, any of the holidays, but they are all easy. So let me flip my camera around now and we'll get started right away. While I'm doing that, if you would be so kind as to share this live video, I would appreciate it very much. That welcomes more people to my Facebook group, Stampin' Piece with Mary Nabe, and we all get to be a part of the creative process. Thank you all for being here on this Friday afternoon, and welcome to Stampin' Piece with Mary Nabe. On Mondays, I start my work week with Facebook Live, and on Fridays, I kind of close out the work week with another Facebook Live. So always a good thing to have you. So this is the inspiration for my first project today. I received this from Sherry Parker. She is a demonstrator 2 levels up from me. So in other words, she is my upline's upline. And she had opened her home to all of us on Sunday, and we had a shoebox swap and that sort of thing. But she made these cute little diaper fold treat holders. And as I make it with you, excuse me, as I make it with you, you will see just how easy it is and why it's called the diaper fold. Now, I've pulled out lots of papers. I've got some of the cute Halloween paper, and I've also got some designer series paper, the 6x6 color family designer series paper. So pumpkin pie is part of the Regals, and what is it? Highland Heather is part of the Subtles. So please know that you can do this with any papers. Small prints work best for this project. Excuse me. But if you don't have the cute Halloween paper, or if you're waiting on it or not intending to get it, I'm sure you have other papers that you can use for Halloween or whatever project you want to create for. So I'm going to pull this one, and we're going to make this together, and then I'll show you a couple of more I made previously. So you want to start with a 6x6 piece of designer series paper. Okay. Both sides of the paper will be showing. And it works best with random patterns rather than directional ones. But if you have small prints that are directional, don't worry about it. If you want to use those, there's really nothing wrong with that. So you're going to fold it in half, just like that. Make a triangle. Make sure you crease your folds really well with your bone folder. Then you're going to have one point at the top, and with your left and right points, you're going to pull them up, and they nearly meet the top edge. And I like to have mine lined up straight across. I like to have these two edges at the top meeting and being straight across. So in other words, they're lying on, those edges at the top are lying on top of each other. You see what I mean? They're all lined up there. Crease everything very well. And then the last step for this is to fold back the top front corner, or that top point. And then this is your diaper fold treat holder. Now, when we were kids, I don't know if you did this, but when we were kids, we also folded back the back one, and we would make little cups for ourselves, and then we'd fill our cups, our paper cups, with water from the hose and drink it on a hot summer day. How's that for fancy, drinking from the hose? But that's what this reminds me of. And then you just add maybe a simple decoration or something. I got this guy. I loaned out my punch to somebody, so I don't have that right now, but I did just go ahead and cut out some little pieces, and I've got more little pieces to cut out. I think I'm going to cut out this guy. And yes, I am aware that the Halloween punch is on back order, and I'm so sorry about that for those of you that are waiting. These shipping issues can make it very difficult for us to get some of our products. But what I wanted to show you is many of these little Halloween figures or characters can be cut out very, very easily and quickly. Now the punch does not even work with the skeleton. It cuts out the ghost, the cat, and the jack-o'-lantern. But as you can see, and I'll show you a few more examples. Whoops, I wanted that piece. They do cut out really easily. So even if you're cutting out those other ones, it takes just a few seconds. So don't be discouraged if you haven't gotten your Halloween punch yet. It's definitely worth the wait, and then you'll have it forever and ever to use for future Halloweens as well. We have to look on the bright side when things don't quite go our way, right? So now, I wanted to point out too, you notice that when I made this, I did not use any adhesive. That's a great thing, isn't it? If we can avoid using some of that adhesive. And now I'm just going to add these little guys, whoops, with my dimensionals. So there's a little tombstone, and then that little skeleton or skull. Now, if you want to put something in, where is it? If you want to put something inside there, you could do something like this. Not sure if that piece isn't long enough. Let me grab this one. Just get some of the mini bars, Hershey bars, or any kind of candy you love, or your trick-or-treaters will love. And you just simply measure the width. I usually measure so that like these sealed ends are sticking out from the designer series paper. I think it just looks a little more party-like fun. But you're gonna measure the width, and then you're gonna measure all the way around. So this happens to be 3 inches by 3 inches for this particular candy bar. And you can slip it in there right like that. You might even want to add a little something to it. Oh, maybe we could use this guy. That would be fun. We'll have the 2 skeletons, the 2 skulls. You don't have to get terribly detailed going around that bird. It's okay to leave some nice black space all the way around it. If you have children or grandchildren who have Halloween parties at school and things like that, or a scout troop perhaps, or a ball team, you might enjoy making things like this for them. So there's one. Let me show you 2 others I made. I made this with the Regal, I believe it was Regal 6x6 designer series paper. So this is pumpkin pie. And again, I covered it with that same stripe paper from Cute Halloween. I added a little bow with the black glittered organdy ribbon. And then I also made this one. And this one is made with the Highland Heather 6x6 designer series paper from the Subtle collection. And I colored the black and white gingham ribbon using my Highland Heather dark Stampin' Blends. I just colored a length of it long enough for me to make that bow. And this guy I actually punched from the Cute Halloween Designer Series paper using my Label Me Fancy punch. All right, let's move on and make something else. So we got some little candy bars in there. Ghirardelli chocolates would work. I'm sure you can think of all kinds of things to fit in those little diaper folds. Now, if you wanted them to be a little bit larger, that is 6x6 DSP that I started with. If you wanted something a little bit larger, just make larger squares to start with. Maybe 7x7 or 8x8. You can try different sizes. Now for the second project, we're actually going to make a box. And your box needs to start with a piece of cardstock, 7 1/4 inches. No, wait a second. Yes, 7 1/4 by 7 3/4. So not quite a square. We have 7 1/4 by 7 3/4. Now with the long side at the top, with the 7 3/4 inch side at the top of your paper trimmer, you're going to score at 1 1/4 inches and then 6 1/2. And then you're going to turn that cardstock. So now the smaller edge, the shorter edge, the 7 1/4 edge is at the top. And on here, you're going to score at 1 1/4, 3 inches, 4 1/4, and 6 inches. Now, and I'm going to do my trimming before I crease all my folds, all those score lines. So on each end, 1, 2, 3, 4 slits are cut. I'm going to do the same thing on the other end. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now you have 1, 2, 3 square flaps on each end and 2 rectangular flaps on each end. I'm just going to angle some of these small flaps. When I post this to my blog next week, I will have a diagram of this that will show you all the measurements as well as where to put your adhesive on the box. It's very easy, but I know the first time can be a little bit confusing, so I'll make it as easy as possible for you because that's my job. I want you to make things that you can I want to show you things that you can make at home on your own. So now you're going to just burnish each of those score lines with your bone folder. Make sure you get all of them going both directions. The reason I trim before I do this is I find it easier to cut or trim on the score lines before they're folded. For some reason, I just can see them better. It's not necessarily right or wrong way. Also note that, whoops, I missed one here. On one end, I only trimmed the inside edge of that top square flap. That's going to be the top of my box, okay? So now it's time to add some adhesive, and I'm going to put adhesive on each of the small flaps. And this is the outside of my box. I'm making mine with cardstock, and then we're going to decorate it with designer series paper. But if you would be using designer series paper as the box itself, note that this is the outside and you're putting your adhesive on the outside of the flaps. So now I'm just going to build the box, put it together. So I'm keeping that top straight edge at the top. That's going to be for the lid. So I'm going to start at the bottom, and I'm just going to fold in the small flap and adhere it to a rectangle. And I want to make sure that the side of the rectangle is matching up with that corner fold. Then I'm going to take the next small flap on each side and adhere that to the same rectangular flap. So this is how my box will sit then. So you see that? Now I'm going to take the top flap and adhere it to the top rectangular flap. So that bottom rectangle has two small flaps attached to it, and for the lid we just have one small flap attached to the rectangle, and then it fits like this, and it closes really nicely and opens easily as well. Now if you wanted to make like a little punch right here, like a little opener kind of thing, you could do something like this. Or you can do this with circle punches as well. I know circle punches have retired, so I wanted to just show you that you can use other punches as well to do this. So now it's a little bit easier for somebody to open up like that. All right, so let's decorate this. I'm going to grab some of my designer series paper again, and I have to think for a second. 1.5 by 1. Okay, so I need one piece that measures 5 inches by 1.5, and I think I'll use this fun stripe. There's so many good ones here. I like too that the back side of the Halloween paper is black and white. You can use it all year round. Okay, so 5 inches by 1.5. And you can adhere that to your box. If you're making a lot of these, you might want to add the designer series paper while it's flat. But I think when you are first learning to make a box, I would put the box together first and then add the designer series paper. And then I need 2 pieces that measure 1.5 by 1, and that's for each end. Should I do that? Here we go. I'll use this. Oh, that's not 1.5. Is it 1 inch? Yes. Okay, so 1 inch. Cut it this way. And I need 2 1.5 inch lengths. So I'll put these on, oops, can hardly pick that up. I'll put these on each end. You could even mix and match the designer series papers for this, or you can make them all the same. And let's see, I was going to see how this looks. I need a piece that is 2 pieces that are 5 inches by 1 inch. For the front and back sides, and I really like this piece, so I think I will use that. Although that cuts up the print kind of small, doesn't it? Let me see what else we have in here. This print I think would be too big for the front and back because of the images being larger. Or I could just cut them the same. You know what? I think I'll do that. I'm going to make the front and back the same as the top and sides. These need to be 5 inch by 1 inch. What I love about this box is you can put in a few of those small candy bars, maybe about 3 of them, maybe 4, depending on what you use. You can put in several little individual candies, or you can do something like buy a big Snickers bar and it'll fit right in there. I think they're like 89 cents. Candy's not cheap anymore, is it? But anyways, it's just kind of a fun way to give a fun candy bar. You could even wrap that candy bar in other designer series paper. You could wrap it with a surprise note, do all kinds of things. So there is, and I just wanted to show you, look, I can put several of these in here. That's 4 of the mini candy bars. But let's go ahead and decorate the box a bit. See what I have already cut out here. I've got this cat, and I'm going to cut that out, and I'll cut this out as well. You can always add little greetings. Here I cut a boo in the shape of a cat. Not sure I'm going to use that though. In addition, or instead of putting a Halloween tree, you could die cut letters for somebody's name, or die cut letters that say boo Sometimes we automatically go to grabbing our sentiments, but we could change it up a little bit, which is what you and I are going to do right now. So I've got this, but I'm going to die cut the letters B-O-O. So let me grab that. Does anybody have the, oh, almost lost that guy. Does anybody have the Playful Alphabets dies? I love, 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 love these. Okay, I'm going to die cut B-O-O. You tell me, what color I should die cut it in. Orange, black, we could do Highland Heather, we could do Old Olive. Oh, Penny, you filled the headstone, the tombstone boxes last night. That's great. In fact, that's the next thing I'm going to show. So B-O-O. I love that this set has some of the more commonly used letters have doubles of them. Oh, white. I did not even think about white. Let's do that. Boy, Amy, you are quick on the fingers. Let me just grab a scrap. And with die cutting, you know I'm using platform 1, 2, and then I have another 2 for the top. Oh, Penny, I have lots of ideas for those tombstone treat boxes. Wait till you see what I'm going to show you next after we finish this project. If your pieces ever get stuck like that on the cutting plate, just gently slide them with your piercing tool, and that takes care of the problem. I'm going to put these in my magnet dish so I don't lose them till I get them put away. Now, if I were doing a lot of these, I would have put these letters on adhesive sheets, but I'm not doing a lot, so I did not do that. Just going to use a tiny bit, some dots, I'll say, of the multi-purpose glue. And I'm going to arrange them so they hopefully look a little whimsical instead of all in a straight line. And then last, I'm going to add these little characters. Oh, maybe I should try some ribbon around it too. How about this? I love this black glittered organdy ribbon. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm not going to tie a bow. I'm just going to tie it with a knot. Can you think of other things you might put in here? Oh, I just thought of something for a young girl, a young woman, or a woman of any age, really. Nail polish. Put in a couple bottles of nail polish, or a nail polish with some candies. That would be fun. I love that they brought this ribbon back and put it in our annual catalog. But did you know we also have it in white now? Chapsticks, good idea, Penny. Yeah, sometimes we're looking for ideas other than candy and sweets. Oh, roll of quarters, yes. And not just for the little ones. Sometimes the college students or people living in apartments need those too. Cute. What do you think? I like how that turned out. This would be a fun thing to send to anybody, really. Even if you have a neighbor who maybe lives by themselves, or somebody you know is in a nursing home, something like that, you could send these with some little candies in. Write a note and roll it up and stick it inside the box too, or make a pretty card to go with it. Okay, so that's that. All right, for this next thing, I already have several samples of decorated tombstones, but I want to show you how easy it is to put these boxes together. When you get the package, I'll just open it up because I am going to be using all these. When you get the package, there are some that are facing with the inside up and some facing with the outside facing up. You want one from the bottom and one from the top. The reason being that they are sized slightly different. The reason they're sized slightly differently is so that one fits easily on top of the other. And these boxes are super sturdy too. I was impressed with the quality of the paper material. They really are very, very sturdy. And we'll talk about all the different things you can put in here as well. So the first thing you want to do is fold on all those score lines. One nice thing about these also is they already have adhesive on them. So we don't have to worry at all about where to put the adhesive. It's been done for us. So pull that off and pull the bottom one off. And then you're going to fold in the sides and push down those small tabs. And then you're going to take that large tab on the end and pull it up and fold it around those small tabs and give it a squeeze to adhere everything in place. Do the same thing on the other end. Pull up the large flap, fold it in, and there's one half of our box. You do the very same thing on the other half of the box. See how easy these are? Did you notice how I picked up that adhesive back with my piercing tool? I have so many uses for that take your pick tool. If I'd ever lose it, I'd have to buy another one right away. I've become kind of dependent on it. I use it for so many things, not just picking up embellishments. Okay, so now you can see that they're just slightly different in size. And the larger one goes over the bottom, smaller one, and there you have it. Stands up really nice. You can decorate it any way you want. And right now, let me show you some ones I decorated. Oh, let's talk too about what could go in here. A gift card. cash, quarters, small cookies, candies. You can fit a few treats in there, okay? All kinds of things. A piece of jewelry, if you really wanted to surprise somebody, right? What could we put in there for men? Maybe roll up a tie. I don't know if a tie would fit in there or not. I'm sure you can think of lots of things. Mints, chapsticks. But look at some that I've decorated. And I made all of these with the Cutest Halloween bundle and that cute Halloween paper. And they're all different. Oh, I forgot to pull out my star sequins. Those would be fun to add to the other projects as well. And here's one more. I love that. You put a smile on my face. Looks like my little thing moved here, but I don't want to mess it up. So what do you think? Right? Numerous options. Just what I love to do. Oh, tie tacks. Very good. Hershey Nuggets, peppermints. Yes. I didn't realize I was out of your viewing screen. I'm so sorry. Penny, you are absolutely right. So what Penny is saying is, instead of having this solid, you would have a window. So you'd use like our clear window sheet. But the way to do that is, before you do any of the folding, you would put your die right here in the center and run it through the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine, and would cut out a window for you, so that when you put it together, you'd have that window here showing. You might have, I don't know, candy corn or caramels or something like that inside, but you'd have that cutout piece, the window sheet. Should we do one? Let's do one. All right, let's just do one. And that way, if somebody's unsure about what we're saying, you get the idea of it. Gosh, I have stuff everywhere. Okay, let me grab a die real fast. What would be good? Trying to think of a fun one. Oh, how about one of these? This is the Stitched So Sweetly dies collection. And I'm going to go for either this one. Oh, that's a little too big, I think. So we'll go for this one. And because I'm die cutting, I'll be using platforms 1 and 2, and then my 2 cutting plates. I'm going to lay this box piece right in the center. I'm going to put my die in the center space. I'm trying to space it evenly from top to bottom and left to right. This one is stitched, so I'm not sure how it will do with this thick material, but we're going for it. I'm going to do it a couple times because it is pretty thick. Oh, this one did not cut. It only went through one layer. It was close, but not quite. Let me see if I can get it again. Penny, did you do this already? I might need a shim in there because the box top is very thick. Let's try that. I know exactly what you mean, Penny, and I have seen it done. I wonder if I should have done it on the outside part of the box instead of the inside part of the box. It's so close. Oh, there we go. There we go. Yay. Just took a little extra. So did you see what I did? It didn't cut all the way through the first time. So I just added a little piece of cardstock to go over the top. That made that sandwich just a little bit thicker, a little tighter. And then I was able to cut that out easily. So then what you would do is use a piece of window sheet. We sell these. They come in 12 by 12 size. You can cut them to any size you need. And it looks like this is pretty close to fitting. I'm going to, looks like that piece should be about 3 1/4, 3 1/2 inches should about do it. I'm going to use my stamp and seal to add that. And then let me fold this together. You can get a look at the finished product. Penny, I'm so glad you brought that up. Look at that. So now we have that window. So I'm not sure if I did. Yeah, I did the larger one. So whatever you put inside would show through. Maybe for children too, like a fun pair of Halloween socks, roll them up and stick them in there. You could even cover your treats with some DSP. So I love that idea, Penny. Thank you so much for sharing that, because I have seen it, but I haven't done it with the Tombstone treat boxes, and didn't even think about it with my samples. Earrings, yes. Okay, so let's put these things out so you can once again see everything we made today and take another look at all of the projects. So these are our diaper fold treats. Here was, I don't know which one I showed you. Maybe that one. And then we also did the Boo Box, which holds several little candy bars or a large Snicker bar or something like that. And then finally, there's all kinds of Tombstone treat boxes to show you. Can I squeeze them all in here? I don't know. You can go up there like that. Just trying to put them in a way you can see them all. How's that? And then finally, don't forget about this. Oh, you know, the other thing I just thought of, if you don't want to use a window sheet, you could also use a piece of designer series paper in there. That would be fun too. Look at this guy. Something like that. You could do that as well. Another way to use that window. Oh, aren't you funny? IP Daily, Hugo first. Using the die cut letters, MT Tomb. Oh, you are funny. Amy and Penny, you are cracking me up. Okay. All right, everybody. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's demonstrations and picked up some good ideas for your Halloween treats. And I hope you'll make some. And if you do, please share them here on Stampin' Peace with Mary Nave. I would love to see them, and I know that everybody else would love to see them as well. Keep in mind too that probably not the Tombstone treat boxes, but the diaper folds and our little candy box, you could make those for any holiday, classroom treats, birthday parties, baby showers, bridal showers, you name it. I'm sure you can make one for any occasion. All right, have a great weekend. I hear some talk upstairs, which makes me think my company is here. My friend Tracy Dolling, who is also my very first member of my Mary Stampers demonstrator team, is here for the weekend. I told her I'd be doing a Facebook Live to just let herself in, so she must be up there talking to Emily. All right, have a great weekend. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you Monday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bye-bye.